Morning and welcome into Hometown today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Wally Lukashinsky back in the Daily Dodge studio this morning with the man Cale Zomer himself up in the WBEV studio, making us sound good. Hometown today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, and it's also brought to you by Hometown today is also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. And speaking of McKinstry's, if you're like me and you close your doors when company comes, you got that room you're embarrassed about, McKinstry's is here to help you out because they are happy to sit down with you, discuss your decorating ideas, and formulate a complete plan for any or all of the rooms in your home. Just bring them the measurements and pictures of your room, determine any items you wish to keep, and then they can discuss your paint colors, furniture styles, area rugs, and accessories. Combining your ideas and our expertise over there at McKinstry's, they're going to be able to help you out with that room to plan your desire and work from within your budget. That's all there is to it. Stop in and see them today at McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, where customers matter and quality counts. And I'm very excited this morning to be joined by one of my favorite people, somebody who, by the way, dropped off pickles for me last week or a couple weeks ago. Unbelievable, Diana. How are you doing this morning?
I am fine, my pickle friend. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back. Good way to start the morning, too, with a little Park Village Shopping Center talk. And it's July 4th weekend, Diana. I know you guys are jammed and excited to have a big weekend over there.
Oh, my God. We have got, you just need to go to Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly. We got it all covered for you. You need steak, brats, chicken, chops, seafood. You can do it on the grill. We got beverages. Pair it with some wine. We got it all going on over there. And then you go to the deli. Maybe you don't want to cook. Maybe you want to grab potato salad. Maybe you want to grab sushi. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, we got it going on. It is a food-orama at the Park Village Shopping Center.
Food-orama?
Well, cake, we got that too.
I know. I was just saying, I know the brats. This is a brat body you see in front of you today, Diana. And it's because of Fox Brothers. They're so good. But you're talking about all these deli meats. You got to have a potato salad for July 4th. What else is going on? What else other options do I have?
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. Switching the gears over, we're going to talk about Juneau, Wisconsin for a minute. You know, on May 15th, that tornado went through and it damaged a lot of properties. I mean, there's houses that have been torn down. Ours is under construction, and I want to do a shout-out to Dave Camp's Construction. They're taking care of us, and that guy is amazing. I mean, he came in, he goes, we can make it look as good as new. And my friends at Sensation Electric said, Sean Krause, he goes, we're just going to Oprah Winfrey it up for you. And I said, all right, so we're good. But on Saturday, July the 12th at 1850s there in beautiful Juneau, Christina's going to be doing a meat raffle fundraiser for the displaced tornado victims. So we're going to be doing that at high noon on Saturday, July 12th. And Pronounced Meats are going to do the process. So we got locally raised beef. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. And all the money is going to help benefit the victims. And you know, it was the grace of God that Greg and I and everybody else is still alive, but there's just a lot of damage that was done. So Christina is just a rock star, and she's organizing all this. So please come to the fundraiser. Please help support your local folks. And I'm telling you, Wally, humanity is alive and well in Dodge County.
No, I feel like we got to see that, and you probably a better testament to that than anybody else, getting to see what you guys have gone through, how people have rallied. And this event coming up, you said was it the 15th, if I heard correct?
The 12th.
The 12th.
Saturday, July the 12th. So it starts at high noon. So, of course, there will be beverages, and 100% of the proceeds are going to affect. There were over 40 displaced folks there. I mean, the guy next to us, we cannot live in our house. So we are staying at our friend Bernie Butterbroad's house and in Beaver Dam, and we thank him for that. But the guy next to us, his house, they demolished that. So that's gone. So he's going to get a new house. But there's about 4 or 5 houses along there. And all total, just in our 4-house neighborhood, we've lost over 40 trees.
Wow. And so an opportunity for people to help out some folks. Again, show
Absolutely.
that humanity here in Dodge County on the 12th. You said at high noon. And it's a meat raffle. Who doesn't love a good meat raffle? Go out. You can help yourself. Stock up the freezer a little bit at the same time and help your neighbors.
Absolutely, my friend.
Well, Diana, is there anything else that we have to hit on today? I got to give you the floor before we say goodbye today.
Absolutely. I think we're doing good. Swing by Park Village Shopping Center. It's the 4th of July weekend. Gather up all your goodies. And, you know, you and I, we need to go on that Baskin-Robbins run. We got to start sampling all this ice cream, my friend. Maybe it'll make your hair grow quicker.
It might. I mean, 31 days in the month. I mean, there's 31 flavors. There's an idea right there. You try a flavor a day. We got something going on.
Absolutely. So I shop Park Village Shopping Center. You should too.
You're the best, Diane. I can't wait to talk to you soon. And we got that ice cream date coming up. I ain't forgetting about it.
Heck no, man. We're going to call it a date. You and me on the, we just need to alert the police, and we're going to be out and about together.
Yeah, look out, Dale Schmidt. We'll have to make sure he's occupied that day. But Diana, you are the best. We will be talking to you very soon, and I guess make sure everything's staying good, and you're keeping that positive attitude over in Juneau. You're the best.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. God is good. Have a blessed day, my friend.
You do the same. And we're going to step aside now for a quick break before when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Beaver Dam youth football team, and that is going to be on the other side here on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Thank you very much, Kale. And now I'm very excited. You know that I'm a sports guy. We have the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam every day from 4 to 5 with Corey Sparks and myself. We love talking local sports, and we get a chance to do that today on Hometown Today because we have the Beaver Dam Youth Football team with Kurt Grunwald and Shannon Hatch this morning. And gentlemen, first of all, thank you for joining me. And I guess this time of year, it's a very busy time of year for you guys because we have to get people signed up.
Yep, exactly.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the Beaver Dam Youth Football program is, what the aims are, and then we can go into a little bit of the details here?
Sure. First, with our mission statement, I'll start there. It's basically to teach the fundamentals of tackle football in a fun and safe environment. We also continue to make participation for each athlete a priority over team scores and records. This is, in every sense, basically the same mission statement we share with the Badger Alliance that we have become a part of last year. Some of our season objectives would be have fun, because we want to make sure that it's enjoyable for both us and the kids, because we want them to come back. We want to develop each player as a person first and a player second. Develop relationships that will hopefully last, through the years. Learn the importance of teamwork and sportsmanship. Give positive reinforcement based on effort rather than results. Learn the fundamentals of tackle football and play it safely, and support what we do at the high school. And I just want to hit this quick. So winning, the usual goal and objective of any athletic competition is achieve victory. But for Beaver Dam Youth Football Program, however, winning is not a goal. Rather, it is expected byproduct. So if we truly focus on those other 6 areas, that will just become, part of what happens. And so that's kind of where we stand. And any other program is not about winning at this age either. It's about getting them developed that they can then move up and use those skills and add, and move up and use those skills and add until they get to varsity and have a good product at that point.
Well, I love the way he said that too, the philosophy too, where it's if you do everything the right way, winning will come.
It takes care of itself, yeah. In fact, we just recently had a Badger Alliance meeting a week or so ago, and those exact same words that Shannon was just telling you echo exactly what the leader of that alliance talked about to the coaches, what the real goals are. Okay, yeah, everybody wants to win, but not everybody can win. So we want to make sure that all the fundamentals and all the other things that are important about being involved in sports and athletics are being taught. That's what really counts. And that's great to be in a league that has the same values, and core goals that we have. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be in the league. But that's really was really positive to hear that. So also,
well, especially at this age too, where a lot of these kids are playing tackle football for the very first time,
right?
And it can be a very dangerous game if you don't learn the things the right way.
Yep.
So at this point, it's more or less, like you said, teaching them the game and learning how to be a football player safely for them and obviously safely for themselves. I still remember growing up 20, 30 years ago, you go helmet to helmet or head down. Yeah. Half of the teams, you didn't even know it was something that could be dangerous for the players. And kids are just going out reckless abandon, throwing the helmet around. It's changed a lot. I'm sure you guys have seen that even since you've been involved. Mm-hmm. And how long have you both been involved with Beaver Dam youth football as a whole?
Well, I was one of the original board members when we started Beaver Dam Youth Football. It actually started in 2001. We used to have a Saturday morning program. I came to Beaver Dam in '85, coaching at the high school, and we had a Saturday morning program where we kept looking at that. Charlie McDonald started that, and we moved on to say, hey, maybe we need to do more than just a Saturday morning program that was just flag. So Coach Mark Furtick at the time was the head coach in Beaver Dam, and Mark got a bunch of us together and people from the community also, not just coaches, and said, hey, we need to start a more formal Beaver Dam youth football program. So Beaver Dam youth football has been around since 2001. Now it's grown and changed through the years. At one time we even played tackle with 3rd and 4th graders. We tried to play flag and they were tackling each other anyway, so we said, let's play tackle. And then we found out that, maybe 3rd and 4th graders aren't ready for tackle. So currently our program is set up to be a 3rd and 4th grade flag program and a 5th and 6th grade tackle program. That being, the 3rd and 4th graders play together. The 5th graders and 6th graders will practice together, but they have their separate team in the Badger Alliance League, a 5th grade team and a 6th grade team. And it's been the second year now that we're actually in that league. Prior to that, we were an in-house program where we took our kids, divided them up into between 4 to 6 teams, depending on how many we had, and played each other, played like a double round. And that was good too. It was very beneficial because kids got lots and lots and lots of reps on both sides of the football, because there just weren't very many subs when you got, a team of 10 or 12 kids and you got to play, sometimes we played 9-man instead of 11 just because of the number of kids we had. But this is good too. And it was kind of a natural progression for us to, go from being an in-house intramural type league, to going to a full travel league. It's been a little bit of an adjustment to get used to it. It's more competitive maybe in some ways, when you travel and play against other towns. Although it got pretty competitive amongst our own teams too. In fact, sometimes too competitive. We got to remind them that, hey, you're all on Beaver Dam football here, guys,
You're going to be teammates here in a few years.
Exactly.
So I just like to hit on that a little bit. So we joined this like last year was our last year. And some of the teams we have were like Verona, Wanakee, the Sun Prairies, that kind of, and more. But I mean, that kind of gives you an idea. But we felt by doing this, it would give us a new opportunity. We talk about, the progression to learn the game of football by exposing our kids to new challenges and experiences. Because before it was 9-on-9 or 7-on-7, whatever we had. But after a while, they knew where the play was going because they all had the same playbook. So we wanted to expose them to some other things. We also believe it gives them a chance to play other people than themselves, and that's a big deal. As a building your program, being a group that is like a family rather than the siblings fighting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it also gives them confidence, familiarity going forward, and that bond they're building now will pay dividends later. I guarantee that. I know that that's a big part of the growth of what people do. And I believe that the kids are excited to play this way, against a common opponent versus themselves, which is, again, how it was. And furthermore, it also strengthens team unity concept for our program. We wanted the kids to build their skills and become more confident and consistent in that. And in doing that, they play more instinctually. I'm getting into maybe too far down the nuts and bolts of this, and I believe to do so, you need to look at it like building blocks. I'll say building blocks. So you build fifth and sixth. Fifth builds a little bit of a block, then we build in the next layer, and then seventh, and so on. And I think long term, that's a big deal. And it's like asking a kid. Another comparison would be like asking a kid to do a multiplication problem who's never even learned to add. You can't do that.
Can't jump steps.
You have to build those steps, that consistency, that confidence for those kids to do well. It's the same kind of idea.
Yeah, and we coordinate all that together. I mean, the middle school, many of their coaches are our former youth coaches. Like I was saying, in 2015, I stopped coaching at the high school level entirely and went totally into the youth program. Kind of became the coordinator of Beaver Dam youth football, even though I had been on the board for a number of years prior to that. And Shannon came to us about 5 years ago.
2018.
Yeah, so he's been around a while now too. And he came to us with a wealth of experience from Columbus, where he worked in their youth program and where he went to high school and played on a state championship team down there. So, the program is, again, unified from one level to another. We communicate. Brock Lindy is on our board, our head football coach. Mm-hmm. And we work with him. Everything that we do on the lower levels is hopefully pointing and progressing towards a successful varsity, because that's ultimately what matters, is that level. As far as the winning and losing too, and playing well and representing your community and your school well. Okay, and all kinds of different things, not just the quality of football, but the quality of the kid. The behaviors that they exhibit and how they get along with each other, the camaraderie, so we talk about that amongst all the levels.
One of the things that you see when you get to the high school age, everybody that has that like state contending team or the high quality teams, the one thing they all have in common is the youth programs in those areas are dynamic, they're well coached, they have that plan, the structure, kids focus first. And I know that there's a lot of parents out there who might have a 12-year-old for the first time or someone in that range, and they want to get involved, but they might not know how. How can they register, and how can they learn more?
Well, that's exactly the most important reason why I'm kind of here is we got to get, our registration's been open for a couple of weeks now, and we do have 30-some kids that are registered. And this is for all grade levels 3 through 6th grade this coming fall. So if they're going to be in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, that's our program. And the simplest way to get registered in our program, and please do it as soon as possible so we get a better idea of what our numbers and stuff are going to be, is to go on our Facebook page. Beaver Dam Youth Football has its own Facebook page. And on that Facebook page, there's all kinds of information, but the important one is to find the link to Sports Engine for registering your athlete, your kid, for our program. I can give you the sentence and a half long email, or for Sports Engine, and many parents are very familiar with Sports Engine because our other youth organizations, youth baseball, Positively Hoops, hockey, wrestling, they all pretty much use Sports Engine for registering your kids.
Sure.
Into the program. So some of them have their own accounts and they'll enter Sports Engine through their own account. But like I said, the link that we've posted, we're told has been working fine for everybody. We had one glitch early, but as far as we know, we haven't had any feedback back from anybody that link is not the place to go to, and it'll bring up the whole registration process for you.
So the Facebook page is where people want to go.
Yep.
Beaver Dam Youth Football.
Yep. Beaver Dam Youth Football.
And you're going to be able to find that link there. And again, if you needed to hear any of this again, you can also go back on the Daily Dodge YouTube page and hear everything that these fine gentlemen have had to say this morning. And Kurt and Shannon, I have, with a couple minutes left, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, we have the Flat Tail Golf Outing coming up.
Right, yeah, I want to plug that because Flat Tail is super important for all levels of football in Beaver Dam. It's the fundraising arm for the varsity, the JV, the freshmen, the 7th and 8th grade program, and the youth program. We have a board. Shannon's on that board for the Flat Tail also, and I myself am also, and we make sure that all 3 levels of the program are getting taken care of as far as equipment needs, things like that. And the Flat Tail is where we raise the money. That's a golf outing, and there's other things involved with more than just golf. But if anybody's interested in that, that's also on our Beaver Dam Youth Facebook page. You can find all about the Flat Tail Golf Outing there. And I know Brock has got it posted on the high school. Has got I believe it's a Facebook page or website or whatever for Beaver Dam High School football. And he's got it there also. So if you're interested in helping out, financially and having a bunch of fun, a couple of meals, we get a lunch, we get a dinner, we got some opportunities to win some things and some opportunities to get involved in auctions. It's a fundraiser, it's a very, very important fundraiser. And it's a fundraiser for the programs, and we also give away a couple scholarships every year to some
that's
deserving
fantastic.
kids. Yeah. So, and that's always a joy to be able to give to some of the high school seniors that are graduating. Like to give it to all of them, but that's not possible either. So you got to have a little competition there, and the kids got to apply, and stuff like that. But we've been, very fortunate they have enough money to do that and give each kid a couple of kids or one, depending on the year, a scholarship to go along with it. So
again, people can find that on the Beaver Dam Youth Football Facebook page.
We've put it on there, and you may have to scroll a little bit because we're kind of adding to it as we go along. In fact, we'll add to it today. Okay, being July 1st, I'm going to push parents, please get your kid, registered. And we got a camp that we also do. We got a camp that we do with the high school players. We run the camp, kind of the youth people, but the high school players are our counselors at the camp and work with the kids. Yeah, and that's coming up here in July, on July 22nd and 23rd. And part of that camp involves, if you register by the 15th, then we get you a T-shirt, okay, at the camp. And we take, and you'll see pictures on our site, the whole group of kids with the coaches, on the last day. But you got to be registered to get that T-shirt at the camp. Okay, you got to get registered by the 15th of July because it takes them a week to get those made up for us.
Make sure we're registering. Again, it's open now.
Yeah, you bet. It'll be open until like August 4th for tackle. That's the day before we start. We start August 5th. Okay, and flag goes a little bit longer because they don't start until about the middle of August. I think it's the 19th is the first flag night. Flag runs Wednesday, Saturdays. Our youth program goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a couple of Fridays till school starts. Once school starts, then we're down to just 3 days a week practicing games on Saturdays. And our flag kids will practice on Wednesdays with high school athletes. And then on Saturdays, they have their games, flag games, about 5 kids on a team. They divide them up, and they go play flag, play 3 rounds games on Saturday mornings. And the high school kids, again, are their coaches. Now we have adult coaches that are supervising and working, but we really heavily involve, and Brock has been outstanding about that, making sure, that those high school kids, and to be honest, the kids love doing it. And in fact, Coach Lindy says you wouldn't believe the guys that show up in practice from time to time with their youth football jersey, on for practice, especially towards the end of the season. They got to show everybody that they've been a part of the program. I don't know how they get them on over their high school stuff, but they wear them. I see them too. So.
Well, first of all, thank you both so much for coming in. There's a lot of exciting things coming up for Beaver Dam Youth Football. The Facebook page is your friend. Learn about all of these great events that are coming up. Register your kids early. It'll help you out. It'll help them out.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you don't do Facebook and you can't get on a Facebook page, you can get on your computer and go to Sports Engine. And I don't know how to exactly navigate through Sports Engine to get to Beaver Dam Youth Football, but I'm told that it can be done also. But you got to know how to navigate, through Sports Engine to get there. But the easiest, again, like I said, is, and if that's a problem too, I can be contacted personally, to help you through it,
Hey, that's a fantastic idea. I know we got to go into break here now, but it was a pleasure talking to you both this morning. It's great to see what's going on over at the high school field, and I know that starts with the youth program. So thank you both very, very much for
Thank
that.
you so much for having us here today.
Yes,
really
thanks.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yep. And we're going to step aside now on Hometown Today. We'll be back after a brief break on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering. It's also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Very excited now. We are joined this morning by Randy Bentley with Sleep in Heavenly Peace bed giveaways. And Randy is the build manager and satellite coordinator for Beaver Dam, among a number of other towns as well. But Randy, first of all, thank you for joining me this morning. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me here. It's a good opportunity to get the word out.
I love that. Well, this is the first little time that I've been hearing about it in preparation for going into this interview. Can you tell me a little bit about what Sleep in Heavenly Peace is and what they actually do?
So basically, Sleep in Heavenly Peace started in 2012 officially, and it was started out in Twin Falls, Idaho by a man named Luke Mickelson. And he decided one Christmas, somebody asked him to make a bed for a little girl, and he did that, delivered it to her on Christmas Eve, and it took off from there. So now there's, national chapters all over, and we're one of 22 local chapters in Wisconsin.
Wow.
So we give free twin beds, complete twin beds, to kids ages 3 to 17. So it's just amazing.
That is amazing. So this started, like you said, with that wonderful story, and it just kind of snowballed from there, and realized, hey, we can do something special, help kids sleep better at night. And I imagine for people that might have situations where it's harder to get a new bed.
Oh, for sure. And we see all kinds of, situations, and, it's tough when we're very, strict on what we do when we deliver beds and how we do it, questions we ask, what we look at. We have a scheduler that schedules our deliveries. And the neatest part about it is when somebody applies for a bed, all the questions our scheduler asks are, how many beds do you need? How old are the kids? Do they have any favorite colors or animals?
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that they can match up bedding with them. And, where do we deliver them to? So it doesn't make any difference how much money you have or how little money you have. We will get you a free bed.
Randy, how did you become involved in wanting to be a part of this as much as you are? You do quite a bit with the organization. Where did that passion come from?
So basically, my wife started first. She saw an ad on, somebody had a post on Facebook from Fond du Lac. And from there, she said, I'm going to go check that out. So she did, and she came home. She says, oh, you're going to want to do this because we build beds, for kids. And Tom Oddie and Christine Oddie from Fond du Lac, our presidents, they took the leap of faith and started the chapter in Fond du Lac. And we started out just with a couple of cities and it kept going from there. And pretty soon we covered all of Fond du Lac County. And in Fond du Lac County, in 4 years since we started our chapter, we've delivered over 1,250 beds.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, think about that. That many kids without beds. And there's plenty more. They say 3 to 5% of the population is without beds. So it's pretty true in Fond du Lac County.
And even like some of those people that are in the 95% that might have a bed, that you get the holes in them. You get that where there's all the humps and everything. You can't actually sleep on the thing. So, I mean, what you guys are doing is incredible.
Yeah. So, how we do it is we are completely volunteer and donation based. So all our beds that we make, we look for sponsors for when we build the beds. And we've been so fortunate in Fond du Lac County so far that we've had some very good, backers, a lot of civic clubs, big businesses and things that would sponsor a build. Typically a build, if we do 40 beds, they figure $250 for a complete new bed that we make. So, it takes a good chunk of money to get that done. And it's just such a good thing.
I'll make sure I do this again in our fourth block, but for people that are wanting to donate or they want to volunteer their time, how can they go and find you guys, learn more information about you?
So the easiest way is just Google Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Once you get on there, it'll direct you, to a website, and it'll ask you your location. And basically then it'll put you right to our Fond du Lac, chapter, or if you're in a different part of the state or country, it'll direct you to a chapter that's close to you. So it is pretty simple. And from there, you just go down our webpage, have a donate, tab or a apply for a bed tab, which is very simple. You just hit the apply for a bed tab and, fill in the blanks, and, our scheduler takes it from there. As far as donations, they do have a donate tab, and the best way to donate a lot of times is bedding. We're always in a need for bedding, pillows, bed in a bag, we call it, because it's got everything. It's got the comforter, it's got the sheet sets, pillowcase.
I like that, bed in a bag.
Yeah, bed in a bag, that's what it is. And that's one of the best gifts we can get. And we've been so fortunate so far, we haven't had to buy any bedding out of our funds. So people have been so generous. And we have a drop box at the airport in Fond du Lac for dropping bedding off. And we are looking for something in the Beaver Dam area where we could have a drop-off point, so we could do that. And our biggest thing is donations to do a build in Beaver Dam. We'd love to do that at some point. And we need a storage unit somewhere in Beaver Dam so that we can store beds and bedding. So when we do our deliveries, we can go there and get what we need and go out to the houses and
Streamline it a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We definitely need that. Yeah.
Well, Randy, we're going to step aside for a quick break, but when we come back, there's a lot more I have to ask you about and learn a little bit more about what you guys do. But that'll be coming up right on the other side of the break here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, and it's also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Wally Lukashenski and Cale Zomer up in the WBEV studios, making us sound good today. And we are joined by Randy Bentley with Sleep in Heavenly Peace bed giveaways. He's the build manager and satellite coordinator for Beaver Dam, among other areas. And Beaver Dam recently has joined the Fond du Lac chapter of this organization. And it sounds like you guys are already starting with a little bit of momentum in the area.
Yeah, we had a delivery already in Beaver Dam, and we were so excited about that. And we know there's so many other people out there in Beaver Dam, Mayville, and Horicon area that could use beds. And like I say, it's such an easy process to get a bed and barely any questions asked. And it's just amazing. You know, to go on a delivery is our payback because the smiles we get and things. We had a woman from the Lions Club in Waupun that went with us yesterday on a delivery in Waupun. And we got done with it and we were out by the cars talking. And she said, "Did you see the look on those kids' face when they saw those beds?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's it."
It makes it special.
Yeah.
It makes it worth doing it. And again, I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are fired up to help, whether it be donating their time. You also have a Facebook page that people can, peruse and look around, see how they can help?
Correct. So if you just look up Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, it'll come up to our Facebook page, and it'll show delivery pictures. It'll tell you ways to volunteer to help us out. And when we do our builds, we do 4 to 5 builds a year. And because right now we average a little over a bed a day that we give away. And so we need to build, probably over 400 beds a year. So on a typical build, we build anywhere from 40 to 80 beds. So, we need a lot of volunteers to do that. And doesn't matter what skill level you are, we can show you how to drill and sand and put beds together.
So you're not only going to be able to helping kids. We know how important sleep is. When you get that bad couple nights of sleep in a row and you wake up and miserable, imagine these kids that are sleeping, whether it be on a couch or something, nonstop. But then at the same time, you can help yourself learn some valuable skills.
Oh, for sure.
Get to be a carpenter a little bit for a little while. I know I could certainly use that. But one of these builds that you guys have is actually coming up in September. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Correct. That's the one in September is one that nationwide they try to get all the chapters to build beds that weekend. It's called Bunks Across America because our twin beds can be a single bed or a bunk bed. So they try to get all the chapters to build some beds, and I'm not sure what their goal is this year for how many beds they want to do, but we've got over 300 chapters nationwide. And
oh, wow, that's high potential there.
I mean, if every chapter did 80 to 100 beds, that would be pretty amazing. But so that one we do at the Fond du Lac County Airport in the hangar there. They let us use one of those. And we'll have a sign up on our Facebook page. That'll be probably about 3 weeks before the actual build. We'll have that on our Facebook page. You can sign up for 2-hour shifts or whatever you want. You could sign up for the whole day if you want. But it's just like a fun thing. You get to do it all. And you'll get dusty and, full of sawdust from sanding. And
got to get your hands dirty a little sometimes.
Oh, you have to. So, and we do, some of our builds are fun. We do Walleye Weekend in Fond du Lac. That's a family build, and people can just drop in and build a bed. And, our best story I told you already was we had a family come in and actually apply for a bed that weekend. And we said, "Oh, you want to build your beds?" And so they said, "Sure." And so the mom and dad and the 2 kids came and they built their 2 beds. And at the end, we had them sign the bed, and we delivered those beds to them the next week. So how great is that?
It's special. They're building memories at the same time. You're helping others out. You're helping yourself out in that case too. And I mean, what you guys are doing, it's really cool. So I highly recommend people visit your Facebook page. Try to donate your time. Donate money if you can't donate your time.
Definitely.
Because there's so many people that we know how important what sleeping on a bed is. and for children too. What you guys are doing is awesome. So, Randy, you're the man. We appreciate you.
So we enjoy it, and I'll tell you, we have probably in our core team, we have over 25 people in our core team, and every person that's on it is just so committed, and it's the easy thing to, draw into, once it's you see what it does for the kids, it's just fantastic.
Seeing that, rewarding feeling of seeing that excitement, gratitude on a child's face. There's not much better than that in the world. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's just amazing. And we have so many, church groups and women. We have one woman in Alto over by Waupun. She's in her 90s. She's legally blind, and she makes throw blankets. And she has donated over 70 throw blankets, and they're just unbelievable. I mean, to see them, you can't believe it. But we have church groups that make quilts for the kids' beds. So we always make sure we give the kids a little extra something with a blanket or whatever. So just a little touch, and they just love that.
Well, I've been speaking this morning with Randy Bentley with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And first of all, thank you so much for joining me. And then second of all, good luck going forward. Great cause. And I'm very excited to hopefully get an update here before too long about how Beaver Dam's doing.
Oh, we're excited about this area. So if anybody needs a bed, please go to our website and apply for one.
You're the man, Randy. And we're going to step aside now, I guess, until tomorrow. It's going to be that old 22-hour, 59-minute break for you. But we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.